y'all. This is Lauren with Let's Music Club, and I really just wanted to spend my time on this video talking about all of the God winks or synchronicities, like, God winks, like kind of God saying, like, I got you, girl. I want to talk about all of that, everything that's been happening in my life that resonate with me in that way over the past, since July 1st. So what is that? I need a calendar. Over the past, I keep saying 6 weeks, but I feel like I'm way past the 6 week mark at this point. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Over the past 8 weeks. So, I'm back in Ohio. I'm back in my space. Thank you so much to my mom who has watered my plants for me while I've been away. I'm super grateful for that. All of my babies are thriving. But I just wanted to talk about my time. So I cannot for the life of me find this interview. So if you can find it, please let me know. But I remember a while back, I want to say, I don't know. But Chance the Rapper, he had an interview where he talked about getting a Grammy, and he spoke about, he had a big party, it was awesome, all the things, and then he woke up the next day and the house is a mess and nobody's there and it's just him and his Grammy, and he had this overwhelming sense of emptiness. And I think that that's a thing that people go through once you experience a high, the only place to go. And that's so funny that he has that the song on his new album called The Highs and the Lows, because, I think that anybody who's reached any level of success can relate to that. I say all that to say I drove back to Ohio Friday. I got in like super late, like 3 a.m. Saturday morning, and the past 2 days have really just been reacclimating to being back in Ohio after experiencing 8 weeks of euphoria and just recalibrating. I don't even want to dwell too much on that, because it's like, it is just recalibrating. It is just like, traveling for so long and like whatever. I'm just going to get off of that timeline and go back into all of the synchronicities. So, okay. So, yeah, there's been a ton. And it's all kind of just led me to believe that I truly am on the right path, and like I need to keep going. So I became an entrepreneur. Well, I launched the journal, Let's Music Club, April 21st, 2025. After years and years and years of trying to assimilate into corporate culture, I finally understood that I would need to create something of my own. And Let's Music Club was born. I created it. I'm grateful for it. And in July of this year, I'm skipping obviously so much of it. But in July of this year, I became a full-time entrepreneur. Whoop, whoop. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. And I started that off by going to Audio Feed, which is a Christian festival. I don't know what genre to categorize it under. There's 3 stages. It's a mid-sized festival up in Illinois, and the first stage, what is that, like, airy sort of music called, like indie, I guess, maybe indie. The other stage was like a variety stage, so it had like little hip hop, a little alternative rock, it had a little bit of everything. And then the third stage, that was like the rock out stage. There was like a post-hardcore band, which I wish I could remember their name. But I was one of the vendors, and it was a camping event. So I purchased a tent. I, purchased everything I needed to go camping. And was out there for 3 days, and it was honestly one of the most phenomenal experiences I've had within these past 2 months. I went with my brother, who is a bass. Well, he is a bass player, but he was in a couple of bands, and they were like Christian alternative rock bands, and he invited me into that world, which I am eternally grateful for. Every one of the musicians was so kind and welcoming and willing to have a full conversation. It was just phenomenal. And all the vendors were amazing. Everybody who put on a stage was wonderful. Shout out to you, Ryan. Especially shout out to you, Ryan, for being so intentional about ensuring that the space was welcoming, is welcoming. It does not go unnoticed, and it truly allowed me to grow in self-confidence. I think more than anything, like prior to walking into that room, into that festival, I think that I didn't even I didn't even know that being around musicians was something that made sense for me. I am a music appreciator. I love good music. I love live events. I love festivals. I love concerts of all different genres, whatever the case may be. So when I created Let's Music Club, I created it with myself in mind. But after Audio Feed, being able to dialogue with so many amazing musicians, it let me know that there are more rooms out there that will welcome me. So super, super grateful. One of the highlights of Audio Feed for me, I was very surprised by how much I enjoyed the post-hardcore band, which again, I wish I could remember their name, but they had a great audience. And, I'm sitting there, I'm inching to the front. Like, I love to see people strumming on their guitars, like all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to see. I go up to the front, and wild, like going crazy, like just some of the best live instrumentation I've ever experienced in my life. And then the mosh pit forms, and I got up out of there. I stayed pretty close to it, but I took a couple steps back because that's not for me. But so the mosh pit formed, and then they were doing a little light shoving, that sort of thing. And then you see this guy just going crazy, like going at it, kicking, like all of the things. I'm like, what is that? And my brother, he explains to me that is called slam dancing. Never seen it before in my life. It was a lot to take in, but honestly, it was so cool as well. And so the first God wink that I wanted to talk about was how that was one of the highlights of my time at Audio Feed. And then a few weeks later, Don't Tap the Glass comes out, and he begins doing visuals for it. And do you know that in one of his visuals, he has this guy slam dancing? And I'm like, what in the world? I've never heard of this form of dance before. I hear about it, and then 3 weeks later, it is a part of Tyler, the Creator's advertising. Like, that to me is wild. But again, cute little God wink. Okay, I'm on the right path. I'm going to skip over so many things. But I don't want to skip over the fact that I really came to Atlanta with the intention of going to the Beyonce concert and figuring it out, really. So I go to the concert, and afterwards, I have formed a relationship with a friend. I told him about the journal, and he purchased one for his partner. And he was like, oh, by the way, I own an event space, and I would love to have you there as a vendor. And I was like, okay, great, wonderful. That was called Black Music Monday, and I am eternally, eternally grateful for everybody that I met there. I don't even want to start naming names, just because literally everybody was so fantastic. And oh, my tummy hurts. Like, I feel so grateful. I'm overwhelmed. Okay, so the thing about Black Music Mondays, right? Basically what that is, it's just a jam session for musicians. So all of these musicians get together on a Monday night, and the way it works, they are all set up on the stage, and it's like maybe 5 or 6 of them. They get the vibe check going. They do like a couple of songs. It's literally just musicians having a jam session, just totally organic. It was the coolest vibe I've ever experienced, honestly. Oh, it was so amazing. And I think that audio feed prepared me to be in that room because I was able to have so many fantastic conversations with so many amazing artists, singers, producers, just wonderful, wonderful creatives. Like, it was unreal how aligned that was. And the synchronicity there is that when I got into Atlanta, it was happening. Boom, boom, boom. Every Monday, I had a home to go to vend my journal. And do you know that the first week that I was no longer in town, there was no Black Music Monday? They put up a post and they said, hey guys, we're shutting it down this week. We're going to be at a different venue, da 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 da. And I'm just like, I feel like God set it up for me to be in the exact right place at the exact right time. And for that, I am eternally grateful to everybody who helped make Black Music Monday a thing. And I'm pretty sure it's still going on now. It just like skipped a week. So that was huge. Another thing, I had met this guy like 7 years ago, like so long ago. And so we'd stayed in touch just casually on Instagram, and he opened so many doors for me. He is basically an event curator in the city and was incredibly welcoming. And it seemed like every single room that I walked into, I walked out with a number of contacts to further the journal. And so I'm very, very grateful for that. And then, of course, Kyle of the Grits and Eggs podcast. I actually went to Kendrick Lamar's concert, and oh my gosh, and a friend of mine who I go to like every concert with, she was like, "Hey, I want to introduce you to somebody." It was Kyle, who they had like gone to high school together and stuff, and I'm just like, I at this point, she told me, she was like, you've reposted this man before. I was like, oh, I probably messed with whatever he had to say. So I was able to form a relationship with him. And, I mean, I'm sure that maybe some of you guys watch the Grits and Eggs podcast. And so you understand what you see about the type of person that Kyle is. But when I tell you, he is exactly that way. He is kind. He wants to put people on. He wants to create opportunities for people. He has the biggest heart. He is juggling. I don't understand how he's juggling the amount of things that he's carrying. But he's doing it, and it is powerful to see. And when he first saw the journal, he said like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, this is so cool, like I want to work with you, blah blah blah. A couple weeks later, his ascension is massive. I'm talking about exponential. It would have been so easy for him to say, hey Lauren, I'm so sorry, I'm so busy, I cannot. No, he stuck to the original conversation and has continued to endorse me. And when we are in rooms together, he continues to champion me. And yeah, I'm just so incredibly grateful. I've never, I hope this isn't too personal or like, but I've never been popular. And I've always been black, but I've never been popular. So, you know, to be invited into a room of beautiful people who operate like they were probably popular in high school feels, what does it feel? I don't know. Honestly, it feels good. Like, I will say, I know that my confidence has to grow in this season. But I think the coolest part about being in these rooms is that when you're actually in the room, people are kind, people are open, people are willing to have a conversation and prop you up and make sure you're good. Like, the amount of time people have gone, you good? To me, is crazy. Where I'm just like, being seen after after not being seen for so long is the most wildest feeling, like, ever. And it's different. Like, it's not even, it just feels very cool to be validated for creating something so valuable. I'm still processing that, I guess, but, like, I'm sorry. Not only did he hear me out with Let's Music Club, like, with the actual product, like, he let me do my spiel. He allowed me to talk to his team about my spiel. Not only did he do that, me and him have had, countless conversations where it's literally just us speaking. He listened so intently that when the opportunity arrived for him to be in the room with an artist that aligns with me, he made the introduction for me. And I'm just like, I could cry right now. I've cried so many times, but I'm like, and if you don't know what I'm referring to, I am referring to him giving Chance the Rapper the Let's Music Club Journal on his podcast on a large scale platform. To believe in me that much is super foreign to me. And so, just being able to process that in real time, like, it's so cool and it's so wild, but at the same time, like, I'm also like, okay, well, this is amazing, and this moment is etched in my memory forever. And now how do I use this moment to push the business forward? I don't know. I literally don't know how to do that. But, I guess speaking about it and, like, yeah, it's oh, okay. Another synchronicity, right? I got my nails done like 2-3 weeks ago, way before seeing the album cover to Chance. Not way before. I actually want to do the research. Insert when I actually, maybe here. Insert when I did my nails here. The date when I did my nails. Whenever it was before Starline came out. And first of all, I've been wanting to do nothing but green nails for a little while. But my nail tech, shout out Peter, he influenced me to get these, like, bluish greenish nails. Have you seen the cover of Starline? That is a God wink to me for sure. Because what are you talking about? My nails match your album cover. Like, And then two, he like left the last one, so like I have that neon green like the Northern Lights, then plus two with the sky. Anyways, that's another God wink. There are more. Oh, I mean, I don't know. So I did flowers for my live events. I rallied to do the live event. Oh my gosh. Wonderful World of Coffee. I love you, love you, love you, love you down. But that was another one where I had been going to that coffee shop for a while just to get work done, and finally got in contact with the owner, and she was just the most gracious woman ever, allowing me to do a live music club in that space. But it had been on her heart to do an arts market for the longest, and then I come in and ask if I can use the space, and so we encouraged each other to do the things that were already on our heart to do. So that was just so incredibly aligned. Her art market is called Rooted. The album that I did is called Bloom. And if that's not the flip side of the same coin, I don't know what is. Rooted and Bloom, like crazy work. So that, I know that I'm missing a number of things, but all of that to say, I'm super, super grateful for my time in Atlanta. I kept setting it up with everybody that everybody that I was in conversation with to say, oh yeah, I'm leaving, which I did. I'm back in Ohio right now. But girl, I'm coming back in 2 weeks. So listen, if I didn't catch you this time, I will catch you next time. I think I'm kind of just going to be back and forth between the two. If you are in Atlanta and have any leads on work, I'm looking for flexibility. I'm looking for flexibility. That's really it. I need my nights, I need my weekends so that I can continue to promote the music club. So we're talking Monday through Friday morning to mid-afternoon sort of things. Please hit your girl up because I would be very appreciative. I mean, obviously I want to go full force with Let's Music Club, but these bills are going full force too. So if you can't help me with a job, help me with a sale. Buy the journal today. And what else? Y'all, I'm going to do better. Like, I love my little setup. Like, isn't she cute? But, like, you can tell I'm really trying my hardest. This one, Songs in the Key of Life. First, here's a fun fact. That is the first album that I personally did for Let's Music Club. I did that with my family. Let my dad tell it, this is the best album of all time. And I would tend to agree, especially after doing Let's Music Club with that album. This one, Music Soul Child. Fun fact about that one, you guys remember when we had ringback tones randomly? Teach Me by Music Soul Child was my ringback tone. And yeah. I think that's all I have right now. Gosh, I always get like this at the end of it because it's like, I don't want to leave y'all. I know I have more to say. I could blab all day. But, you know, I guess in closing, thank you. Thank you to every single person who made my time special and meaningful. Thank you to every single person who has purchased a journal, purchased a Rice Krispie treat, been gifted a journal. Thank you to everybody who is helping me to push this journal forward. Oh, God, let me tell you guys something embarrassing that happened. Oh, should I? I mean, I'm already here, right? So I was feeling so good about myself, right? After, going to Chance's meet and greet, getting to tell people about Let's Music Club, getting to, actually give and receive flowers in regards to Music Club at the meet and greet. I'm feeling myself, right? So I'm on Instagram. I hop on somebody's live. I'm in the comments. I'm like, yeah, yeah, people should know me. So I'm like, hey, this is Lauren, da 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 da, with Let's Music Club. Love what you're doing, da da da. After he's done doing what he's doing, he reads the comment. He goes, how did bots get in the chat? I reply back. I'm like, oh, I reply back like, oh, I'm not a bot, like overly eager, if anything. And then I got off the live and I unfollowed him, and I realized, you know what? Ooh, that is embarrassing for sure. But so what I'll say I learned from that is I went into his chat with ego. I'm like, yeah, people know who I am. I can introduce myself in any space and be accepted. But I left going back to that whole mindset of like walking through a door versus seeking a door. When it comes to introductions and when it comes to like putting Let's Music Club out there, like the only thing I can be responsible for is saying, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do. It's on the receiver to choose whether they're interested or not. So yeah, there's that. That was definitely a lesson from that. And then 2, if I can encourage you to do anything, I encourage you to get outside. Every single connection that I have been able to make and maintain in Atlanta over this past 6 weeks have been people who I have met physically in person, whether that be at a concert, whether it be at a party, whether it be at a networking event, whether it be at a variety show. Please, I encourage you to get outside, to walk into rooms confidently as yourself. Don't worry about anybody who's not worried about you. There will be people who are worried about you, who see you, who value you, who want to create safe spaces for you to simply exist. And I am so excited to be one of those people who is creating spaces like that. And I am so incredibly grateful for all of the wonderful people in Atlanta who are doing just that. Vinyl stores, variety shows, R&B nights, Black music curation, concerts, amphitheaters. Y'all are doing the Lord's work, and I am so grateful. And I think that's really, really it. I'm gonna go now. Yeah. All right.